For a while I was actually contemplating using aftermarket head studs for the Cummins project, but I've decided against it, and I'm going to explain some reasons why. Some years back, when I was still assembling performance automotive engines, I started using this rod bolt stretch gauge together with a torque wrench. And what I found was that occasionally I would encounter a brand new performance aftermarket rod bolt that would stretch beyond its specified amount after it had been torqued. And so I considered the rod bolt to be soft compared to the other ones, and I would remove it, discard it, and replace it with another one. So that didn't happen very often, but I would occasionally encounter a bolt that was questionable, brand new. So I don't have to search on the internet very much before I start finding a few stories from people that have experienced a broken aftermarket head stud in their Dodge Cummins engine. And from what I saw, the broken aftermarket head studs were of the same brand name as the rod bolts that I was talking about earlier at the workbench. One of the stories I read about on one of the Cummins forums was about an engine that had 60,000 miles and a max of 30 psi and had a broken aftermarket head stud. And so those head studs, they're not cheap, and I also, I've gained some information about the rod bolts as well, as I was talking about earlier. And so at what point are the head studs an advantage? I think the whole idea behind the head studs is more reliability. So these head bolts are for the Cummins 12 valve. They are reusable. They could stretch, which would render them unusable. So this is a Cummins head bolt stretch gauge, and it's for the B and the C series engines. The B series is what Dodge put in the trucks. So I'll demonstrate this gauge, and this is the part number for it right there. These head bolts actually were bought as spares. I got them on eBay with the idea that if I did encounter any stretched head bolts, that I would have a spare or spares. And so I was already doing some testing on these, and I didn't find any that were stretched. And so here's some more bolts, and this is how I got these bolts, and they came in this box. So this is an intermediate length bolt, and I'll put the head under this end here, and then this end you can see is not nearly to the end of that gauge, so I'll just do a few more. So this is another intermediate bolt. Another one. And another one. So now I'll show you some of the long ones. I would kind of anticipate that if the bolt is going to stretch, it would probably be from one of the longer ones. So here is the one of the long bolts. Lots of room. Here's another long one. Lots of room. And that's basically how all the bolts have been that I've tested. I haven't done them all, but so here's another long one. Lots of room there. Lots of room. Another long one. Lots of room. And another one. And once again, lots of room. I'll try some of these short ones. Also short, or not stretched. Another short one. Also room there as well. So here's from another set. Intermediate bolt. Looks good. I'll try another long one from another set. And once again, I have found none that are stretched beyond the limit there. So yeah, I won't have a problem, I don't think, using these bolts. I think we'll be all right.